Hello and welcome to The Wire. I am Sangeeta Barua Pisharuti. I bring to you today an important development from the state of Assam. Unfolding of that development since March 25th afternoon has certainly marked a couple of firsts in that northeastern state's recent history. I will tell you what was that and also some more, so stay tuned. The development I'm referring to here is a never-seen before protest staged by Assam's journalist fraternity this March 25th in the state capital Guwahati, along with some other towns of the state. The March 25th protest was called by the Guwahati Press Club against the arbitrary detention and arrest of its Assistant General Secretary, who is a senior digital media journalist. The journalist Dilwar Hussain Mozumder works for The Cross Current, a Guwahati-based Assamese web portal and YouTube channel that is gradually gaining popularity in the state for having questioned the Himanta Sarma government on a number of issues, including alleged corruption in government departments and also RTI-based reports on his family-run business enterprises, grabbing government land and cornering government contracts. In the last few years, The Wire and myself, as The Wire's national affairs editor, have also jointly published such news reports based on government record. So this March 25th, Dilwar Hussain Mozumder was covering a protest for the Cross Current. The protest was organized by the youth wing of Assam Jatiya Porishad, which is a local political party opposed to the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party. AJP was famously born during the Assam's resistance to the Anti-Citizenship Amendment Bill. So AJP's protest was held at Guwahati's Pan Bazaar area in front of an Assam government-affiliated cooperative bank. The allegation of the protesters was that a multi-crore recruitment scam had happened at the Assam Cooperative Apex Bank at the behest of its chairman and the managing director. While the director of the bank is Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa himself, its chairman, who is allegedly involved in the scam, is BJP MLA Biswajit Phukon. The managing director of the bank, who is also alleged to be involved in the scam, is Dambaru Hoikia, who is considered in journalistic circles of Assam at least as an acolyte of Chief Minister Sarma since his days in the Congress. Sarma, during the Congress era, had unsuccessfully contested to become its director. Today, that post is no more an elected post. So I want to quickly give you a bit of the bank's background here. The Cooperative Apex Bank was set up in the 1950s as part of Assam's strong cooperative movement that hinged on the newly independent India's socialist inclinations. The Apex Bank, having spread itself across the nook and cranny of the state over the decades, and for financially backing up various cooperative societies, including generating employment even in the rural areas, began to be considered an institution of pride for the state. A matter of pride that the bank would develop such a vibrant community-based banking system locally. The Apex Bank particularly was useful in the rural areas. However, in the last few years, the bank has been in use for financial embezzlement, particularly for offering large sums of loan to a rich beneficiary in violation of rules set by the Reserve Bank of India. That case took place under the chairmanship of BJP MLA Biswajit Phukon. The Cross Current has been reporting on allegations of corruption and wrongdoing against the bank for some time. So therefore, it was not unusual for its reporter Dilwar Hussain Mozumder to land up at the protest on March 25th. On seeing the managing director Dambaru Hoikia entering the bank, Mozumder, along with his camera person, approached him for a news bite about the protest. The managing director instead asked the journalist to come upstairs to his office, which he did. A video clip corroborates that.
বহুত মই ক্ৰছ কেন্দ্ৰৰ পৰা হয় বহুত দুৰ্নীতিৰ অভিযোগ আহি আছে কি ক'ব এই মুহূৰ্তত আজি প্ৰতিবাদ কৰি আছে আৰু বিশেষকৈ এই ৰিক্ৰুটমেণ্টৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত দুৰ্নীতিৰ কথাটো আহি আছে অভিযোগ আহি আছে আপোনালোকে দেখা পাইছে সেই বস্তুটো আপুনি যদি ৰখে তেতিয়াহ'লে মই প্ৰশ্নকেইটা কৰিব পাৰিম যাম ন হ'ব দে
So, which was released by the Cross Current. Because Saikia had complained to the police that he forcibly entered the bank premises. So according to Mozumder, he was pressurized by the MD at his office to end the protest, which he refused and left. But no sooner did he come out of the bank, he was summoned by the Assam Police to the Panbajar police station. On arriving there, he was detained, told that it was on the basis of a complaint by the MD for trespassing. So in a Facebook upload from the police station, Mozumder had said that he was being detained by police for questioning the MD about the alleged scam. When the news about his detention spread, several senior journalists and his colleagues reached the police station. So also his wife. However, no one was allowed to meet the journalist. Assam Police would also not give any reason to his family or his colleagues as to why he was being detained. Since Mozumder was on fast, the wife brought for him iftar, but that was also not allowed to go in. The journalist is also diabetic, but his medicines were not allowed either, which was clear violation of his rights. At around 11 p.m., on the insistence of the waiting journalist, his wife was allowed to go inside to deliver him the medicines. Past midnight, Mozumdar's wife was informed that he has been arrested under the Scheduled Tribes, Scheduled Caste Prevention of Atrocities Act on the charge of hurting the sentiments of a person from the Boro community. So in the arrest memo, the police, however, failed to cite the complainant's name, nor could they mention where and when exactly did the incident take place. What was seen perhaps for the first time in Assam was that a considerable number of journalists from various outfits waited well past midnight in front of the police station, wanting to know why was he detained. On March 26th morning, that was the next morning, a one-of-a-kind situation occurred. At the call of the Guwahati Press Club, a sizable number of reporters, senior editors, civil society activists, also some members of opposition held a protest meeting and asked the government to immediately release Mozumder. Such meetings were held in some other towns of Assam too. So thereafter, again in a first, journalists held a human chain and proceeded towards the Panbajar police station where Mozumder was kept. So in the process, scenes of reporters confronting police personnel who were trying to stop them from proceeding could also be seen on social media and also Assamese news media. So it was certainly not a sight Chief Minister Sarma would have liked to show to visitors reaching Guwahati to watch an IPL match at a stadium that day not far from the protest site. Alongside it, Delhi-based journalist bodies like the Press Club of India and Editors Guild of India also issued statements in solidarity with the protests and demanded his immediate release. By the time the day ended, Mozumder was granted bail by a local court. However, he had to spend the night at the Guwahati Central Jail as the court orders ended before his family could meet the bail conditions. The protesters went home cheering journalist unity, but things took a turn towards the worse on March 27 evening. When the journalist was released on bail, he was at once rearrested by a waiting contingent of police personnel dispatched from the Panbajar police station. The arrest was carried out on the complaint lodged by the bank's managing director, Dilwar Hussain. The charge against the reporter now is that he demanded a loan from the Apex Bank and also tried to steal sensitive documents. And when confronted, he fled the scene. The bank, though, failed to show any CCTV camera footage to support that complaint. Interestingly, the Chief Minister himself talks about the case after a cabinet meeting at a press conference in Guwahati.
তেখেতটো পোৰ্টেলত কাম কৰে আৰু পোৰ্টেলত কাম কৰা লোকসকলকটো আমি সাংবাদিক বুলি এতিয়ালৈকে আমি সিদ্ধান্ত লোৱাই নাই। অসমত যিসকলে পোৰ্টেলত কাম কৰে, লিগেসি মিডিয়া ৰাজ্য চৰকাৰে সাংবাদিকৰ স্বীকৃতি দিয়ে। কিন্তু ইউটিউব চেনেল, পোৰ্টেল এই সকলক সাংবাদিকৰ স্বীকৃতি দিয়াৰ বিষয়টো আপোনালোকৰ লগত আমাৰ আলোচনা চলিহে আছে। সিদ্ধান্তটো হোৱাই নাই। আমি কোনো পোৰ্টেলক ডিআইপিআৰে সাংবাদিকৰ মৰ্যাদা আজিলৈকে দিয়া নাই। তেওঁলোকে নিজে নিজে পোৰ্টেল চলাই আছে, বেলেগ কথা। ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যনো নিদিওঁ, আমি এডভাৰটাইজো নিদিওঁ, আই কাৰ্ডো নিদিওঁ। গতিকে এই ব্যক্তিজন অসম চৰকাৰৰ সাংবাদিকৰ সংজ্ঞাত তেখেত নপৰে।
The press meet was held just before Mozumder was arrested. The CM spelled out the allegations mounted on Mozumder and tried to justify his rearrest. Not only that, the Chief Minister also made some absurd statements about digital media. He said that his government doesn't consider digital media journalist as journalist. Also, web portals are not recognized by his government. And interestingly, his immediate family owns a web portal too. Things got even more absurd when he asked the state journalist fraternity seeking Mozumder's release to give it in writing that they would take his responsibility. He would be heard saying, "I will then release him just now." The statement is, to my mind, in direct conflict with the state judicial system set up under the Constitution. Can a chief minister release anyone at his whims, or is it the court? Was he trying to claim that he could influence the court verdicts in Assam? Was he also saying that as a state home minister, he can misuse the police force? These are significant questions of constitutional impropriety noted at the press meet of the chief minister, along with the fact that a journalist was prevented by Assam Police from carrying out his routine job, which, as the Press Club of India had rightly noted in its statement, that's considered a grave infringement of the freedom of press guaranteed under Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution. One other question that popped up in the minds of several journalists in Assam post that press conference of the chief minister was he, by trying to define who is a legitimate journalist, also trying to break the journalist unity he saw a day before on the streets of Assam against his government? Did he feel threatened by that strength and then wanted to weaken it by planting seeds of suspicion against Mozumder? The chief minister also claimed that since Mozumder is engaged in a business, he can't be a journalist. Is there any such criteria? Or is it that from now on in Assam, the chief minister would decide who can be a journalist? I think it is a point to ponder in a democracy where journalism is given the space of its fourth pillar. Sarma said that since Mozumder is also an advocate, he can't be journalist. Fair point. But should the chief minister not allow the Bar Council of India to take necessary action on the matter as per its rules? It's also true that there is no denying that Mozumder has been working as a journalist for the last several years with various Assamese news outlets before joining the cross-current. And another truth is several regional media employees also engage in a second income because journalism often doesn't pay. So like it or not, this is the reality of this country. So maybe Mozumder is also part of that. So what is left unsaid though is, why is the chief minister of a state whom we would consider to be a very busy man so invested in ensuring that a reporter who had gone to cover a serious allegation against the bank of which he is a director must be rearrested? Think about it. Mozumder has once again been granted bail by a local court last evening. So on March 29th evening, which is today, he should likely be released from Guwahati Central Jail if Assam Police doesn't mount another charge on him by then. What I want to point out to here is that several journalists had said that they were threatened by the CM's lackeys asking them to stay away from the protests. But what we saw on March 27th night, after Mozumder was brought back to the Panpujar police station, it signifies that not too many got scared by those threats. A sizable crowd of journalists carried out a silent protest in front of the police station till late night that night. Also, the Guwahati Press Club immediately issued a statement requesting all its members to continue wearing black badges in protest against the rearrest of a fellow journalist and demanded, once again, Mozumder's release. Among other theories heard at the journalist protest on March 25th, also 26th, was that the journalist became a likely victim of an ongoing political tussle between the Chief Minister Sarma and the recently appointed state president of the BJP, Dilwar Hussain. An out-and-out RSS man, Saikia is what Sarma is not, both in terms of ideological training of the Sangh Parivar and in his public persona. While Sarma is seen as an aggressive leader, at times impertinent, things don't, these are things that don't quite go down well in Assamese society. Saikia is soft-spoken, mild-mannered public figure who is also being propped up by the central leadership to quell intra-party fights between Sarma camp and those who have been in the party before he shifted from the Congress. So mind you, the state is going to polls in 2026. Dilip Saikia lately has also been speaking about the need for press freedom in Assamese media and has made some public statements that the media need not always do reports in favor of the BJP and it must do constructive criticism of its government, which is something that stands completely opposed to what Sarma has been saying lately. According to Sarma, no negative news about his government must be reported by any reporter or news outfit if they love their state. In other words, he is equating his rule to that of love and regard for one's own state. Don't like Sharma government? Then you are an anti-national, anti-Ohomia. Since last few weeks, within the state journalistic circles and amongst political observers too, it's been commonly heard that the center, having created another power center in the state, is coming in the way. I mean, like it's bringing by bringing Dilip Saigya, it's not going down very well with Sarma and his style of functioning. The earlier state party president was seen to be not quite the one to stand up to Sharma's style of functioning. A hint of that unease would be seen when a protesting journalist told the local channel that on contacting Saigya about Mozumdar's arrest, he at once said that he would contact the state police and ask for his release. Next we know is Chief Minister Sharma justifying the arrest at the press meet. The question left in our mind is, what's going on? Thank you for watching this live edition of The Wire and continue to support independent journalism. And yes, contrary to what Assam Chief Minister had said, several web portals are today doing an important job and keeping the government of the day accountable.